Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming with a tag video. I'm uploading this video first because there's an explanation that goes along with these tag videos. So I decided that I'm going to just end the year with tags. I literally have tag videos that I've recorded this year, as well as in 2015 that I have not yet uploaded. So the plan is for this week to upload a video every day, and each video will be tag videos. So I'm going to start with this tag, which is the Extraordinary Memes tag that was created by Robin Schneider, and I will put the link to her channel in the description box below. And I was not tagged by anyone, but I saw this on Freeform Lady's channel, so I will put the link to her tag video in the description box below as well. Check both of those channels out if you have the time or want to do so. And what this tag does is give you 6 circumstances, and you have to give your bookish responses to the circumstances provided. So the first is, I would give up the internet for a month for a signed first edition of this book. Okay, real talk. I work at home. My work is done on the internet. I'm not giving up the internet for a month for shat, because that means 30 days of, well, no. However many days in the month for weekdays of leave. That's not happening. But if I did not work at home and need the internet, I would give up a month's worth of internet for a signed first edition. And if you are familiar with my channel, this will be no surprise whatsoever. Kindred by Octavia Butler. I absolutely adore this novel. I'm going to reread it again. I've read it 2 or 3 times. No, I read it twice, purchased it 3 times because I loaned it out and never got it back from the people that I loaned it to. But this follows the story of Dana, who is taken back in time to save the life of a white plantation owner named Rufus, and she is taken back time and time again to kind of help him out. And there's, you know, of course, more to the story, but just the story itself and the character of Dana and the things that she has to deal with and the struggles that she goes through in being taken back in as a black woman, being taken back into the time of slavery and then coming back into this time. And as she goes, it gets longer and longer, and she's having to reconcile the 2 time periods, what she's getting sucked into and then what she's coming back to, and reconciling her current life to the life that she experiences when she goes there. I absolutely love this story. I've never done a review of this because I read this years before starting a booktube channel. But yeah, if I could have a signed first edition of this, of Kindred, it would just make my day. Number 2, I would give up pizza for a year if it meant I could sit next to this author on a long plane ride. Are we talking about takeout? Can I make the pizza at home? That's number 1, because I don't like to fly. So if I have to sit on a long plane ride, I need a caveat. I need a way out. I need a way out. So if I can make it at home, that will make it even easier. But the author that I would choose to sit next to would be the gorgeous Blair Underwood. Now, for my author friends who I'm friends with on Facebook and I read over and over again and I love, don't get it twisted, don't get upset, because if you had the choice to sit beside me or Blair Underwood, you would pick him too. Let's just be real about that. There are tons of authors that I read and I'm friends with them on Facebook, and they have great personalities, and I have had the opportunity to meet a few of them. But let's just be real. If I'm giving up pizza and I have to do a long plane ride, put me next to Blair Underwood. Thank you. Number 3, I would sit through 1,000 hours of commercials if it would ensure that Hollywood made this book into a movie. 1,000 hours of commercials is over 40 days of just commercials. So question number 1 is, can I read during these commercials, or do I have to just sit and watch these commercials? And they better be a different commercial every time. I don't want to sit and watch a 15-second commercial, then a 30-second commercial, and then an hour down the road, the same 15-second commercial we started with comes back again. They need to be 1,000 hours of completely different commercials. That's a long ass time. And I'm missing a month's worth of quality TV, so I better have one hell of a DVR to go back to when it's all said and done. And I have very little faith in Hollywood's book to movie adaptation savviness, because pretty much when they do stuff like that, it sucks and they screw it up. So if I'm giving up 1,000 hours of real TV to just watch commercials and the book is a flop, we cutting that shit off. The book that I would like to see made into a movie and not screwed up and not cut to death and not embellished upon would be The Warded Man by Peter V. Brett. I absolutely adore this book. I actually need to read The Daylight War, which is the third book in this series. I procrastinated in reading it because The Skull Throne, which is the fourth book, just came out this year. So it won't be until next year that I will get it, so that I have all of the books in the same mass market paperback size. But absolutely love this story. It's the story of Arlen, and at the beginning of the story, a little kid growing up, and at night these things called Corlings come out of the earth, and the way that the people on Earth and in regular humans, that's the word I want to use, the way that the humans protect themselves is by the drawing of wards on their houses and around their property to keep the Corlings out, because they're not able to touch the wards without becoming damaged. And he suffers a horrific loss at a very young age and goes on this journey to become a man of legend who's known as the Warded Man. And I absolutely love this novel. I actually have a review of The Desert Spear that is very passionate. Since doing that review, I've actually reread Desert Spear, and I feel a little differently about it. I still don't like the culture that the second book is set in, but I got a better feeling about the characters in the story the second time around than I did the first time. The first time I was just ready to get to Arlen, and it's not Arlen's story. It's a different character in the series story. So yeah, you can check out that review. I will either link it up above or in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. Just know that my feelings on it have changed since I uploaded that video. Number 4, I would never read a new book again if it meant I could live in this book. Stop with the bullshit, because if you live in a book, it becomes your life. My life is good as it is. There's absolutely no book that I have read that I want to live in. So we skipping that question because I don't have an answer for you. My life ain't the best life, but it's better than any book I've ever read. Number 5, I would let my Google search history be made public if it meant I could be best friends with this author. And my Google search history really isn't anything it's probably boring in comparison to a lot of other Google search histories that would be much more interesting to read. I chose Lolita Tatamy, who is the author of Cane River. And I would love to be best friends with her simply because I think that when you have someone who is your best friend, they add something to your life that you would not otherwise have. And that's what my best friends do for me. And the work and zeal that Lolita Tatamy put behind putting this novel together, which is a fictionalized story of her actual family history. I will link my review of it either up here or down here. Check it out. But the work that she put into doing all of that would make her someone who's very knowledgeable about not just her history, but also the things surrounding going on in the surrounding area during that time frame. And I am not a history buff. There's a lot of history that I do know, but it's because I read historical fiction and I research it, but I don't do well retaining dates and a lot of historical data. And I would just love to have somebody like Lolita Tatamy as someone who is that close to me, so that not only can I get that history, but get it in a personable way. The interviews that I've seen of her, she's just very personable. She's very likable. She's easy to talk to, and she's easy to listen to. And yeah, I could keep going on that one, but that's my answer for that. And then the last question or situation, I would donate everything I own to Goodwill if it meant I could date this book character. If I'm giving away everything, I'm dating more than one. Troy over at Troy Towel, link in the description box below, said in a video that he posted a few weeks ago, maybe, that he's like promiscuous reader when it comes to things. I'm a whore when it comes to literary boyfriends and like boyfriends from books. So if I got to give all of my stuff away, I want them all. Adam from Trouble Don't Last Always by Frances Ray, which is one of, I don't remember what the first novel was that I read by Frances Ray, but Adam's character is so close to some of the people that I know in real life who are arrogant and rude and just have bad attitudes. Myself included sometimes. And his as hard as his harshness, or difficult as his harshness was for Lily to deal with, it was that much easier, or that easy for her to deal with the love that they have for each other. And you really have to read the book to get everything. There's so much more to this book, but yeah. Adam. Devin from What You Won't Do for Love. I really, really enjoyed this story, which is a story about a woman named Cheney. Yes, Cheney, who house sits for a family member of hers, and in that house sitting venture, she has to deal with the dog. She's not a dog person, and so shit happens with the dog, and Devin is a vet, and because she's never dealt with the dog before, you know, everything that happens and she doesn't know what the hell is going on, she gives Devin a call, and their relationship blossoms out of that, and they come to know each other really well. And he was a sweetie, and he gave a shit about his family and his dad and the way that he took care of his dad and the worry and concern that he had for his dad. It was just great. I loved him. Then Mr. Chandler, Christopher. Is that his last name? Yeah, Chandler. Christopher from Perfect Timing, which is out, aside from The Ties That Bind, I think all of the other books, the characters that I have are from Brenda Jackson novels. I just realized that. But this story, it follows 4 people. You have Maxine, Maya, Christopher, and Maya's husband, Garrett. And Maxine has just been dealt a significant life blow in terms of her health, and goes on a cruise with her best friend Maya and her husband Garrett for their like high school reunion, I think. And there's a mix-up with the rooms, and she's supposed to have one roommate, but the cruise line screwed something up, and she and Christopher become roommates. And because it's their high school reunion, they know who they are, and so they, you know, decide to stick it out through there, and their relationship blossoms from that point. And yeah, then really seriously, just pick a Westmoreland, any Westmoreland, every Westmoreland. I'll take them all. If you've never read these little quick Silhouette and Silhouette and Harley Quinn romances by Brenda Jackson, they're a great way to get introduced to the author. But then these are like the only short stories that I really, really enjoy. And yeah, I love a good sex scene, and Brenda Jackson can put them in there, boy. Yeah, so that is the end of that tag. I don't know that I would tag anyone. I want to tag Troy, because Troy tagged me in the Creatures of the Night tag, which is coming up later this week. I want to tag Troy. I would love to see what your answers would be for this. And let's see, Alan, if you're watching this, I would like to tag you as well over at Alan Janae. And that's all that I have for today. And I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.